We live in a world that is actively trying to rob you of your sanity. Every single day, it's a non-stop assault on your peace, whether it's dealing with a toxic boss, an unpredictable market, or just the constant suffocating noise of social media. Most people let it get to them because they react to absolutely everything, allowing a 10-second insult to completely ruin an entire 24-hour day. But the people who actually win in this life aren't the loudest or the ones fighting everyone. They are the ones who simply cannot be shaken. Stoicism isn't about wearing a mask and hiding your emotions. It's about building a mind so bulletproof that when the storm hits, you remain the calmest person in the room. If you're tired of being a slave to your environment, you need to internalize these 7 rules to ensure nothing and no one ever breaks you. First, you need to run everything through the control filter. Epictetus spent the first part of his life literally shackled as a slave, and if anyone had a right to rage at the world, it was him. Yet, he discovered that true freedom comes from splitting everything in your life into 2 distinct columns, the things you can control and the things you cannot. When someone insults you, you cannot control their mouth, but you can entirely control how you choose to respond. Every time you find yourself stressed, it is because you are investing your emotional energy into things you have 0 power over. So the next time chaos hits, you have to ask yourself if it's in your control, and if it isn't, you must have the strength to let it go. Second, you have to choose not to be harmed. Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of the known world, dealing with plagues, betrayals, and constant wars. But he reminded himself in his journal to reject the sense of injury, because without your own internal consent, the injury itself disappears. An insult is just vibrations of air traveling through space with no physical weight, and it only hurts because your brain decides to catch it and turn it against yourself. When someone tries to provoke you, they are essentially holding out a burning piece of coal, and if you get angry, you are the one reaching out to grab it and burn your own hands. Third, you need to practice the 48-hour rule to create a gap between reality and your reaction. The modern world rewards speed, pushing us to reply and react instantly. But that immediacy is the absolute enemy of calm. When you react the very second you are triggered, you aren't acting as a leader. You are operating on pure animal instinct and letting whoever provoked you pull your strings like a puppet. When you receive a text that makes your blood boil or news that panics you, force yourself to do absolutely nothing for a while, because once you let the initial chemical dump drain out of your body, you can look at the situation clearly without the useless drama your brain invented in the first 5 seconds. Fourth, you must adopt the mindset of amor fati, which means learning to love the friction instead of just tolerating it. Most people live in a state of constant passive resistance, constantly whining about why bad things are happening to them on any given day. A weightlifter doesn't walk into the gym and complain that the barbell is heavy, because the weight is the entire point of the exercise. When life throws a massive obstacle or a betrayal in your face, you have to stop looking at it as a tragedy and start viewing it as the raw fuel you need to test your philosophy and sharpen your character. Fifth, you need to consistently utilize the perspective shift to zoom out from your immediate surroundings. We get so completely caught up in our own tiny micro-dramas that we genuinely believe our current argument or financial stress is the absolute center of the universe. The Stoics used to look at themselves from above, imagining their city, their country, and eventually the entire planet as a tiny blue dot spinning in an infinite silent void. Realizing that your current problem is just a fraction of a second in the grand timeline of human existence doesn't mean your life doesn't matter. It just means your problems aren't nearly as heavy as you are making them out to be. Sixth, you have to willingly step into voluntary discomfort so you don't become soft and dependent on your environment. We live in a culture completely addicted to comfort, where people actively panic the moment the internet goes down or their food delivery is running late. If you spend a few days every month intentionally eating the cheapest food, taking cold showers, or turning off your phone for the weekend, you prove to your subconscious that you can comfortably survive the things you normally fear. Once you master discomfort on your own terms, nobody can manipulate you with the threat of taking your luxuries away. 7th, you must live with the constant awareness of your own mortality, keeping in mind that your time on this earth is finite. While this concept can feel heavy at first glance, it is actually the most incredibly freeing realization you can have, because it instantly strips away all the superficial nonsense that wastes your daily energy. Every single person who is currently trying to make your life miserable or pull you into their chaos has a limited amount of time here, just like you do. The arguments and social media drama you are losing sleep over won't matter at all in the grand scheme of your life journey. Your time on this rock is ticking away with every single breath you take, so you simply cannot afford to waste your finite, precious minutes trading your mental clarity for someone else's cheap drama. The next time the world tries to push you around and break your spirit, remember who you are. You are not a fragile leaf meant to be blown around by every passing wind. You are the solid rock that the waves desperately break against. True strength isn't about being loud or aggressive. It's about holding your ground while everything else is spinning out of control. When you choose to protect your inner peace above all else, you stop letting external circumstances dictate your happiness, and you finally take complete control of your own life. Every storm passes eventually, but the character you build by staying calm lasts forever. Remember, the world can only control your circumstances, but you control your character, and that is a power no one can ever take from you. And before we close out today's video, it's important to recognize that the biggest enemy to your calm isn't usually what's happening outside of you, but the mental loops happening inside your own head. If overthinking is a battle you are personally suffering from right now, and you find yourself constantly trapped in your own mind, I put together a book called The End of Overthinking. It's a structured resource designed to help you break those loops and reclaim your mental clarity. If that is something you feel would add value to your life right now, you can find the link waiting for you in the description below. Keep your head up, maintain your inner peace, and never let them shake your calm. Until next time, stay focused.